Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about how modern women are not the prize. Modern women are not the prize. So, let's just really get into why they're not the prize. They want to be the prize. They want to be, the one that's sought after, the one that's worked hard for and doesn't really have to do anything. Just people are chasing after them. So they want to be the prize, but the reality is that they aren't. Okay, so we're actually going to go into it. I have, some sort of video or something like that to go off of and sort of shoot off of, but today I don't, so it's just us. And the first issue about this is the fake value. Okay, modern women's value is based solely on lost value system thinking. Okay, I'm just going to come right out with it. Modern women's value of themselves, their evaluation of themselves, how they rank themselves, how they view themselves, all of that is coming from lost value system thinking and behavior. So this creates a deficit of value because this is just like we're talking about. It's lost value system, not 10 life value system. It is a system of lost values. So anyone that's actually actively participating in the lost value system has lost their value inherently. Okay? So modern women, just by definition of being modern women, these modern feminist, non-traditional women who don't think that they need to be feminine and don't think that they need to be proper women, these women are already immersed in the lost value system, or a system of losing their value or having already lost their value. And most modern women absorb themselves in all types of nonsense and frivolous, aimless pursuits and things that they do with their life. Usually the modern woman only has her job that's of any real significance. Okay, that's not a frivolous thing that she do. But most of her recreational time, most of her social time, most of her leisure, okay, is done without limit, and it's nonsensical. All right, it's nonsensical. So she's doing a lot of things that do nothing to cultivate her internal value. Most of what she's doing, 99% of what she's doing with her leisure time, with her social time, is something stupid. It's something negative, and it's something chaotic. It's something that doesn't really benefit anybody. It just feeds that chaotic energy, whatever it might be, getting into, back and forths with her friends, or, just absorbing herself in a lot of foolish activity that doesn't cultivate her spiritually, doesn't cultivate her health. It doesn't help her in her family life. It doesn't help her in her appearance, and it doesn't help her dwelling that she lives in. So she's not really focused on any of the internal things that actually would add value, where her value would come from as a woman. Okay? So you'll hear a lot of modern women talking about knowing their worth. That's an empty statement, because the worth that she's talking about is not based on any real thing or hold any long-term value. It's superficial. It's completely superficial. Most modern women, or pretty much all modern women, are extremely superficial. Everything that they think about has superficial or transactional vibes to it, right? Okay. So the next thing is, a prize is coveted. Prizes are sought after, and the work that it takes to obtain a prize is usually considered to be worth it. Okay? So let's go over that again. A prize is coveted, a prize is sought after, and the work that it takes to obtain a prize is usually thought or considered to be worth it. So if I wanted to win track and field at the Olympics and win gold medal, then the years that I spent training to get to the next Olympics and do all the qualifications and pass all of the qualifications of it to get to the main Olympic event and then compete in that event and then get gold, you know what I'm saying? That was worth it. The gold medal itself does nothing. And I'm holding this like it's a gold medal. Just use your imagination. You know what I'm trying to do. The gold medal itself doesn't do anything, but it's what it represents. It represents all of the hard work that I actually did to obtain this prize because it's a rare prize. Everybody doesn't get to do this. Every athlete that competed in my area of sport doesn't get to do this. It's only one person that can get the gold. Everybody, I mean, the silver and bronze is wonderful, which is why they acknowledge all three, because those are the top three athletes in whatever chosen sports field, right? So if you're talking about the 400-meter dash and you recognize the gold, the silver, and the bronze, I mean, these are the three fastest people, like, in the world. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody else that thought to compete, competed and didn't get there. So the medal that I win in the Olympics actually represents all of the hard work, all the dedication, all of the discipline I needed to have, all of the hardships, ups and downs, you know what I'm saying, that I went through during training. Life is happening. I got to focus and all this type of stuff to achieve my dream. And I finally got here and the entire experience, and I won gold. That's an achievement, right? The gold medal doesn't do anything, but it does represent what happened prior to it. Modern women aren't like that, okay? Men no longer consider the modern woman to be worth their true effort. And the reason why is because modern women do not give any return on that kind of investment, okay? She loses. She's a liability, not an asset, because of her mindset, because of the fact that she thinks in her mind that she doesn't need to be an asset, that her very presence should be an asset, and she doesn't see herself as a liability just because she's there. Right? That's the backwards thinking of modern women, and men are waking up. Men have been waking up now for the past few years and saying, wait a minute, I don't want to put forth all of this courtship effort, because the effort that it would take to get a traditional woman, or the so-called pick-me, okay, that understands how to be a proper woman, he's actually would go into courtship with her, which entails a lot of effort on his part. Because if a man is going into courtship with a woman and not just trying to date and smash, then he's coming into the situation giving her all four of his provision of problem solving, protection, and procreation. He's actually coming in and giving her all of these things right off the bat, because he's seeing value in her. He doesn't just want to date her, because dating implies these fleeting, non-committal type hookup type of situations, casual situations, right? That nobody owes anybody anything, right? It's transactional. I can just come in, get in, get off, get out, and then I'm out. But courtship actually has where the man is coming in off the top and giving these 4 P's. At the same time, he is vetting her according to time, according to toll, according to trouble, and according to her threat. Okay? So this is why modern women are not worth it, because she's not going to pass that. That time, toll, trouble, and threat, she can't pass that. Modern women can't pass that vetting process. Only a man without standards, or that's willing to relax his standards to try to get a modern woman, will miss that vetting process and then get, then he'll wind up feeling crazy, looking crazy, Devin Franklin, Megan Good's ex-husband. Okay? He all on Instagram fake crying with them little fake crocodile tears. Son, you got what you asked for. You relaxed them standards because it was Megan Good. And you probably been looking at her like, whoa, I wish I could hit that. But you tried to be righteous with it. Well, I'm going to marry her. You knew this woman was not changing. And I'm not really trying to spin off on that whole situation, but I'm just using it as an example. Okay? When a man drops his standards like that. And then when he dropped his standards, he automatically stopped doing this. The dropping of the standards means that he stopped dealing with her trouble and threat. He wasn't no longer paying attention to that because that's what the standard is there for. It's there to mitigate the effect, the negative effect of the trouble and the threat. So he just rolled in and started giving provision, problem solving, protection, and procreation without vetting her properly or vetting her for the entire time. And part of that vetting process is not dropping those standards. I have a standard, and if she couldn't reach it within, you give her X amount of time, I work with you. If you still can't figure it out, I am not, okay, I'm sorry. This is not going to work out. But that's a lot of effort. Courtship is a lot of effort on the man's part. Okay? And men nowadays are not seeing these so-called modern women as worth that effort, because for as much as he's investing in her, he knows that because she's a modern woman, because she's got all of this female empowerment and wokeness and all this other kind of stuff going on in her head, he's not going to get a return on that investment. The other thing that people don't really talk about a lot with modern women is a lot of y'all lack common decency and manners and etiquette. It's a lot of modern women that just, I don't know what y'all thinking. Y'all are just missing basic home training. And that's the sad part. And here's what I'm talking about. Okay? Modern women hassle too much about things that used to be common decency and respect. There's too much of an argument, a so-called philosophical, deep argument about whether or not men are worth common decency, respect, and etiquette and manners. And see, that's a huge problem. We can't be trying to have no conversation about whether or not I need to be respected as a human being. And you want to be pedestalized and put on a pedestal and worship like a goddess. Like, you got to knock that off. Boop, you got to knock that off, okay? Knock it all the way off. Boop, 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 knock that all the way off. Because we're not putting you on no type of pedestal, ma'am, while you try to sit and pontificate on whether or not I'm human enough to get your common decency and respect. Just common etiquette, you know what I'm saying? Common pleasantries and things like that. You got modern women running around here talking about, we shouldn't even smile at them. I'm not even gonna smile. Like, you don't want to be pleasant? You're just a crappy individual. You just a negative. That's the other thing. Like, y'all are negative. You unpleasant to be around. You nag, you argue, you complain. You always got something, you always got something wrong with you. Life ain't never going right. Like, don't nobody have time for no energy vampire. You a whole succubus. Like, ain't nobody got time to try to pull you out of that, and you refuse to go. You refuse to be pulled out of the mud that you in. You refuse to take a look and say, you know what, I'm kind of the problem. And the other thing, the last thing before we wrap it up, is that men see the open and unabashed misandry and are giving modern women a hard pass. Mainly because y'all refuse to accept that you are a huge part of the issue between men and women. Okay? You are a huge part of the issue. And y'all refuse to see that part. It's not even that you're just completely unaware of it. You just don't want to cop to it. You just don't want to, you just like, forget it. I'm not a part of the problem. I'm not a part of the problem. I have not seen a modern woman yet on any social media platform come right out, especially Black women. I've never seen it come right out and say, These are the ways in which we contribute to the dysfunction between ourselves and our men. I've never heard it done. Okay? So the reality is the only thing that modern women have in common with a prize. Y'all want to know the only thing that modern women have in common with prizes? Neither of them can think. Boop! Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Okay? Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.